welcome to another video by Jimthecarguy. Today we're going to be working on a 2006. It's an F350 Super Duty with a 5.4 liter engine. A couple of basic maintenance items we're going to be doing. We're going to be changing the fan belt, we're going to change the idler pulley, and we're going to change the tensioner. Let's get in there and I'm going to show you exactly what I'm going to do. Before you do anything, make sure that you have the schematic for how the fan belt goes on there, and that way you're not going to have a problem when you try to put it back together. Alright, if you don't have it, make sure you write it down so you can put the belt on the correct way. Alright, let's grab some tools and let's get started. Alright, first thing we're going to do is that heat will turn off in a minute too, so it'll be a little quieter. Alright, first thing we're going to do is we're going to take off that snorkel here so we can gain a little bit of room down here to get to the fan belt. It's only a 10mm bolt, so you can just take that out. A lot of you people see these, a lot of you guys see these, this ratchet that I always use. It's one of my favorite tools because it has a little bit of a flexible head on it. You'll see me use this 90% of the time probably. Once you've got that out, this comes right off over here. You just pull it out over on the side here. Pull this up. And this comes right out. And we can just relocate this off to the side for now. Sounded like it broke, but it didn't. It actually fits right in here pretty tightly. So, all right. Next thing we're going to do is we're going to release the tension on that belt. And the way to do that is with your 1/2-inch ratchet. You just go into the 1/2-inch slot down there so you can release the tension on it. Just take the fan belt off, and then you can let it back up, and then you can just remove your fan belt. Next thing we're going to do is we're going to take out the idler pulley. Fairly easy too. See it right down there. We're going to take that bolt. Don't lose this bolt because you're going to need it to put that tension, the idler pulley back on, and then take it off. And just relocate that to the side for now. Next thing we're going to do is we're going to take out those 10mm bolts that hold the tensioner to the car itself, or truck I should say. Once you break them loose, then you can just take them out by hand. don't lose these bolts. You're going to need to reuse these again also. Alright, and you can just remove your tensioner and get it out of there. And you can hear that noise. That's the bearing. You could actually feel it inside the tensioner itself when you're spinning. You can feel the bearing is actually bad. So now some guys change just the pulley, but if you're taking it off, you may as well change the entire assembly. It doesn't, not cost efficient. So let's grab the new one and let's put this job back together. Alright, now we have a replacement part. What we're going to do is we're going to put the tensioner on first before we do anything else. So we're just going to catch all the bolts in there first. And remember the way you took it out, because that's the way you're going to be putting it back in. It's a little dark down there. I'll show you what it looks like. Okay, that's what it looks like down here. You just screw everything in by hand first. Get all of them caught first before you go any further. Now obviously if you have an air ratchet, you can shoot in with an air ratchet, but if not, this is how you're going to do it. And you can just snug them in. You don't want to tighten it too tight because you're screwing into aluminum. Tighten all of them up evenly. Next thing we're going to do is we're going to put our pulley on that we previously took off right here. You just push it on, and then you can grab your bolt that you previously took out. Then we can tighten up that bolt all the way. Again, you're screwing it into aluminum, so don't over tighten it. You don't want to strip it out. Okay, next thing we're going to do now is we have our tensioner on, we have our idler pulley on. We're going to grab the fan belt and we're going to put the belt back in there. So let me grab that belt. But what I want to point out is that down in here, the belt has to come through this area, right up inside here. So follow your schematic and put the belt back on. And the last thing we're going to put back on is going to be up on top here. So let's grab the belt and let's get started. The last piece we're going to be putting on is going to be on the top by the alternator. And now we have to just push on the belt tensioner so we can put that belt on. sure your belt is lined up on all the pulleys. Slide it all on. Oh, you'll notice I'm using a longer bar to actually get the tension on it, because taking it off, it doesn't really matter. It comes off fairly easy. Putting it back on, you may need a little more leverage to get it on there. All right, let me just show you what it should look like when you're all done. Okay. When it's finished, just make sure that your belt is on the pulley correctly here. Make sure it's on your tensioner down here, your idler pulley. Make sure it's around your air conditioner compressor down there in the grooves. Your power steering down over there. And that's it. We're pretty much all set to go. All right, next thing we're going to do, we're going to just reinstall that snorkel up in here, and then we're going to start it up. Let's grab that snorkel and put it back together. That's it. We're all set. Next thing we're going to do is we're going to go inside and start it up. Make sure that the belt is on correctly. And that's it. We're all done. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.